Well, joining me now to discuss this and much more in this historic week of events, Washington Times opinion editor, Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt, and political analyst and attorney Gayle Trotter. Thank you both. Let me start with, if I may, what Senator Paul was saying. Despite almost universal acclaim for having shown strong leadership, decisive leadership, Gayle, the senator wanted him to go to the Senate for approval, to Congress. Your reaction to the senator's concerns?
Senator Paul has a good instinct that the president should work with Congress on these issues, but President Trump wasted no time. He's a man of action. He's a decisive leader. And if you use chemical weapons on children, we will lower your airfield to a pile of rubble. And that was what should have been done. It was the right decision. And it is such a stark contrast with this foreign policy of leading from behind, where the professorial red line that was drawn by Obama was ignored. Yeah. So Senator Paul has the right instinct, but he has the wrong application to this situation.
And professorial is a very kind adjective, I think, there, Gayle, because the contrast is so magnified. Here, President Trump did not threaten. He did not talk about what he would do. He did it. And he did it because, in his judgment as he articulated it, Bashar al-Assad crossed many lines, in his words. The idea that President Obama would draw red lines and then disappear for years on end, Charlie, I mean, the difference couldn't be greater.
No, it took Donald Trump to enforce Barack Obama's red line. Barack Obama is all talk, and Donald Trump demonstrated that he is as Gayle said, he is a man of action. And I think that the world probably woke up, regardless of whether you want to get fully involved in Syria, and I don't. I do think this is a pretty good message to send to people, that you don't gas people, and you don't gas children especially. But in terms of sending that message, he did do that, and I guarantee you that China, North Korea, Iran, all these countries are standing around saying, This is a different guy now. They're going to be a lot more careful with how they treat this guy.
And today, to have Neil Gorsuch confirmed to be the 113th Justice of the Supreme Court, Gayle, this is a big moment for the Trump administration, for the country, for the court. Your thoughts?
It's a big triumph for the country and for the administration. President Trump kept one of his vital promises. As you said, most Republicans who voted for President Trump cared the most about the Supreme Court nomination. And we see that this is also sort of Bork karma, when the Democrats were able to block this leading conservative intellectual by using Senate control. And then now they have sacrificed the filibuster to try and prevent an ultra mainstream nominee to the Supreme Court. They've set it up so the next time there's a vacancy on the Supreme Court, President Trump can nominate an outspoken leading conservative. And I would say, as I said, this is Bork karma coming back to bite the Democrats.
It's also watching Senator Schumer perform in the Senate as he attacked Gorsuch, talked about him not being mainstream, being inadequate to American values.
Schumer's mainstream.
Yeah, I think that I think he tore what little credibility and integrity the public might have ascribed to the Democratic Party, just tore it to shreds.
Yeah, I mean, this is a colossal whiff for the Democrats, and in particular for Chuck Schumer. His back was up against the wall. The outside groups were demanding that they put up a maximum fight now, even though it would have been so much smarter to keep their powder dry, fight the next one. Not only would might they have gotten a lesser sterling nominee than Neil Gorsuch, but also it would there's a very good chance it would be for a seat that is that could do a lot more damage to the left, since the only thing the left has is these liberal judges that they are stacking the courts with, and they've got 4 of them on the Supreme Court who believe that the Constitution is, well, whatever they want it to be, and they just make things up. And so, you know, the notion that Neil Gorsuch...
It also sounds like their media plan.
Yeah, well, and it's very effective, especially when it's up against Republicans who they can't seem to argue their way out of a wet paper bag.
And turning, if we may now, to the U.S.-China summit, the president, as you heard him there, sounded supremely confident that progress had been made and that big, potentially bad issues were going to be resolved. In the president's tone and language, he's saying that he really expects big things in this relationship with President Xi, Gayle.
That's great. And when you think about the actions that he took today in regard to Syria, they not only have a direct effect in the Middle East, they also have an indirect effect for our allies and our competitors. And certainly the leader of China respects strength, and President Trump has shown that he can take action when it's proportionate and necessary. And I think that bodes well for a lot of the issues we've had with China going into the territorial seas of other Asian nations. They may rethink that strategy now.